Hey people, thanks for joining me. We're in the book of Leviticus chapter 25 right now, and we're culminating the series that we've been doing on forgiveness. Started talking yesterday about that beautiful thing they call the Jubilee, which was a celebration time for the Jewish nation and all that God had done for them. In order for this celebration to be done, there was a format that needed to take place, and there were certain things that the Jewish people had to do as part of the celebration for this momentous occasion. Every 50 years, debts would be written off, slaves would be released, and everything would begin yet again. And it was like a leveling of the playing field for the nation, for the people, for the individuals, for their businesses, for their practices, for their land ownership. Everything was to begin again. One of the things that it was not just a time of rejoicing, which we said yesterday, it was also a time of restoration. You see, Satan did a job on us in the Garden of Eden, and he messed us all up, and sin came into the world, and now God's endeavor, his passion, is one passion thing, is to restore us to our original selves and to restore us first and foremost to himself. So as we look at restoration right now, we look at the threefold aspect of what it looks like. Are you restored to God? Have you been restored to him relationally? Or are you still an alien to God? Are you still east of Eden, as it were, when God had to remove Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden? You see, God's restoration knows no bounds. He wants us not just to be reconciled, he wants us to be totally restored to himself. Now that's why that word that you read in the chapter that we're reading, I hope you read it again, that word atonement is a key word. Atonement means blood. There's only one way to atone for something, and that was that blood needed to be shed for that atonement or for that reconciliation or that restoration to take place. That's why we celebrate Easter or Passover, when Jesus is the Lamb of God. Jesus is our Jubilee Lamb. And because his blood was shed, we can experience atonement. The atonement of Jesus on our behalf means that everything we've ever done, whether it be good or bad, is now null and void, and we start again, totally fresh and totally new. You need to ask yourself, have you been through the atonement? Have you received of the atonement of Christ for your sin? Have you been restored to God? That's the first aspect, restoration to God. Then we talk restoration to one another. That's where forgiveness comes in. You see, there's a price to pay for forgiveness to happen. And like for the price to pay for restoration to happen to God, blood needed to be shed. And so when we look at what we need to do to one another or for one another, we have to acknowledge that there needs to be a sacrifice made for forgiveness to happen. That sacrifice is no longer blood, you know that. And in the context of restoration one to another, it's simply your ego. Put your ego in your pocket, put it on the altar, and sacrifice that thing for the restoration of yourself to the people around you, to those who have wronged you, to the ones that you have wronged. Restoration is required, and as with atonement, a sacrifice has to be made. It's your ego, and it's something that needs to die in order for it to take place. So I hope today that we will look at God and say, have I been restored to you because of your great sacrifice on my behalf? And then toward one another, are we restored to one another simply because of us offering our egos up as a sacrifice so that pride doesn't get in the way? The greatest thing that stops you from being reconciled to one another is your pride. So put your pride in your pocket, people. Be restored, not because you want to or because you think it's a good idea, but simply because God tells you to. That's good enough. That's good enough. If you need to watch yesterday's devotional, that's what it was about. I hope you will. And let's do what God tells us to do. I'm going to get out of the rain now. And you have a great day. Good to be with you. Bye-bye.